Welcome back to another episode of Aussie Google Earth Explorer. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about US military bases. We're going to go through what has already been established, and then we're going to look at what infrastructure is being built as a part of the US-Australia Force Posture Agreement. Now, let's kick things off with the Big Daddy. This is the one that everyone knows, right? And it's in the center of Australia. It's smack bang in the middle. It's called Pine Gap, and it's no secret. Right? It's been around for a long time. It's been around since 1966, and it's next to a tiny little town called Alice Springs. This is Alice Springs here, and Pine Gap is just down here near White Gums. And this is it here. This is a completely top secret US-Australia Joint Operations military base. And it has a fascinating history, which in the beginning, it was kind of like not that important, really. Like it wasn't what it is today, right? So effectively, this thing kicked off, like I said, in 1966. And when they first started this program, this was going to be used only as a satellite tracking station. Well, that's what they say anyway. This is what I could find online. This was purely, the function was as a satellite tracking station. They signed the agreement, a 10-year agreement in 1966, and it was for satellite tracking only, right? And that's what they did from the 1960s to the 1970s, all the way through. They tracked US satellites. They tracked spy satellites. They supported the US space program, so all the Apollo missions. This was an incredibly influential and important place in all of that early space exploration for the US, right? So this facility here, this has been super important. What happens after that is very, very confusing, and there's no information about this online because this is a top secret facility, okay? So after the 1970s, 1980s to 1990s, this changed completely, right? This facility expanded to support US defense initiatives. Now, whatever that means, but effectively what that means is they can track and control US military satellites, and in that sentence, they can launch US strikes from a base in Australia, right? So this place went from somewhere where they track satellites and help, send men to the moon to a place where it's effectively a US military base. Those upgrades keep happening. So throughout the 2000s to now, this is now intelligence gathering. This is now missile defense. This is now aerospace. This is now, there's about 800 staff that are employed in this area, and it is completely top secret. No one knows what they do here. This is as classified as a facility as we have on Australian soil, right? So this is common knowledge. You can look up a million articles about this facility, what people think it may or may not do, but it's not a secret, right? It's not a secret that it exists. What they do there, though, huge secret. And let's just have a little look around, because you know what? Maybe we'll be able to crack the code. Who knows, right? Let's have a little look here. So these golf ball looking things, which they literally look like huge golf balls. They even have the dimples. This is probably a Titleist Pro V1. These are Titleist Pro V1s, huge. These are Callaway Super Softs, and this is a TaylorMade TB5X. That's what these. So these are just huge golf balls. So don't worry about these. They're golf balls. This, however, these are. You'd think this is what they use to do all the satellites. These would be like super high powered. I don't know what. If you know what these are, put it in the comments. Because I always imagined that everything looked like that. I always imagined that all satellite, it all looks like that. But I guess it looks like this, which is kind of weird, really. I thought I'd be looking at huge, dome shape things, not big golf ball looking. That's really weird, man. I don't actually quite understand why they look like that. After this episode, I'll look that up and suss that out. A little bit of greenery here. It's good to see they've got a swimming pool. When we do these episodes, we always check and see if they got a swimming pool. We did the jails episode. They had a swimming pool at the juvie. We did a military bases episode. There was a couple swimming pools kicking around, so it's good to see. You can do a few laps. I don't know if like the people working here are like a lab coat wearing. That what you'd imagine is your classic, lab coat wearing, or is it guys in military outfits? Because if these guys are lab coat wearing, you better believe they're doing the backstroke or the breaststroke. No one here has the muscle development to be doing freestyle or butterfly in this pool. I can absolutely guarantee that. This is a backstroke. This is a doggy paddle zone. This is a 100% doggy paddle zone. No butterfly here. That is too much muscle needed for that stroke. You can't really see much from the sky that looks sketchy. And like I said, this place is top secret, man. This place is top secret. I mean, we've uncovered the golf ball fiasco, but that's pretty basic. Apart from that, it's hard to really know what they're doing here. This is probably a sewage facility. This looks like they're developing some sort of green slime technology for use in chemical warfare. That's probably what that is. That's the green slime development facility. I couldn't find any information about the slime facility. I wonder if Nickelodeon has an agreement to help develop slime. They were some of the early proponents of slime. I don't know if you remember that. Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, you get slimed. Now looking back on that, it's actually quite strange that was a thing, but Nickelodeon, I'm sure they did some dodgy stuff. I'm sure who did more dodgy stuff, Pine Gap or Nickelodeon in the late 90s and early 2000s? I got my money on Nickelodeon, and that is dark. That is dark. Let's move away from Pine Gap for a second. Let's just zoom out a little bit. And also, I find it really strange that it's so close to Alice Springs. It's so close to Alice Springs. Alice Springs, if you're not from Australia and you don't know, it's been in the media lately. There's been a lot of unrest here, a lot of like youth crime and stuff. It's a pretty full-on place. A lot of violence, drug and alcohol problems. And because it's so remote, the people here are kind of just like, you just spend your whole life here punching on, and it's no real opportunities for everyone. But it's kind of odd that one of the most advanced facilities in the country is just around the corner. I bet these boys would be able to suss out and stop some crime over here. Like they could come over here and be like, "Hey guys, can you stop breaking into all the homes?" And these boys are probably like, "What are you gonna do about it, bro?" And I guess the lab coat wearing doggy paddle boys over here probably don't have a leg to stand on. Although they might be able to launch some sort of secret satellite missile at Alice Springs. That's probably all they can do. Anyway, let's talk about a little bit about this force posture agreement and what it means in context for, I guess, the US military in Australia. So as far as I can see, the force posture agreement was signed in 2014, and effectively what it is, it's just a commitment from US and Australian government to develop and build new infrastructure in specifically the Northern Territory, as far as I could see. In this agreement, it also outlines like allowing to have US military on our soil and whatever they want to do here, that's in the agreement. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm making a YouTube video here. Like I'm no expert, but you can find out places that they're developing, because I actually looked it up on the Australian government website and it has a list of places that they're developing, and we're going to have a look at a couple of them right now. We're going to go to Katherine, in the Northern Territory, and we're going to go to a place called RAAF Tindal. And thank you to M_Mitch, who wrote a comment saying it's not RAAF, it's RAAF, and I've been saying RAAF. So thank you, M_Mitch, for that. But here it is. This is Tindal. Okay. And this is an active military base right now. And you can see the way that this is being built. This is a government base, okay, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, look at this infrastructure that they've built here. All these little same houses. There are thousands of people living here full time. Okay, this base here is like, I don't know this for sure, but I reckon some of those Pine Gap boys would be living here and then be just catching the plane bang over to Pine Gap. Because this is a military base, right? People live here. Like, let's have a little scoot around. They got that swimming pool. Okay, respect. They got that swimming pool. Couple tennis courts. Little oval. What else they got? I mean, it kind of just looks like a suburb, really, doesn't it? It doesn't even look that cool. Yeah, it doesn't look that good. But really why we're here is we're talking about the airport. Now, I did a little bit of research, okay? And I found some interesting stuff about the Catherine Airport / RAAF Tindal, right? And they're developing this place as a part of this force posture agreement. And a couple of significant upgrades can be seen right now using Google Earth, right? All of this stuff here, this is all new. And I'm going to break it down for you. What I could find on the internet, and don't be like, John, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? Because this is all I found. This area here, this is going to be used to house B-52 bombers, strategic US bombers in this area here. This is an extension to the runway to allow different planes to land, okay? This is a new refueling station here. This is a US aircraft maintenance facility that they're building here. So these are all upgrades as a part of this force posture agreement that we signed in 2014. And you can see the development happening. What you can't see, though, is what's actually in the agreement. There's a part of the agreement that says agreed facilities and areas, which means the facilities and areas in the territory of Australia provided by Australia may be listed in Annex A. So anything in Annex A in this agreement, all right, they have access to. But we never found out, as far as I could see, in the 9 years since this, well, not 9 years, but how many years it was since this was posted, we never found out what Annex A is. So I guess you're never going to know exactly what areas the US have access to. And that's probably completely normal. Like, I'm not saying that it's not uncommon for a random guy in Sydney to not be able to access this information. But it's open to interpretation. So we don't know what the US has or hasn't agreed to have access to. And stuff like this is for their airport. This is for their bombers, right? This is for US military planes to land and to refuel and to be worked on at RAAF Tindal. Here it is right here in front of our eyes. This is the force posture agreement in effect, in action. And there's a couple of other things I want to show you, a part of this sort of force posture agreement. And this is the actual upgrades, right? It's on the Australian government website. So I had a little look here, right? And we're going to talk about another place. We're going to go to Bradshaw Field, right? Bradshaw Field. And a quote here from the Australian government. The Bradshaw Field project will provide a new medical facility, a 250-person training camp, urban operations training facility, accommodation camp, and road upgrades to the Bradshaw Field training area. As well as they're going to fix up the runway here to allow the United States C-17 Globemasters and MV-22 Osprey aircraft to land at the airstrip on a more regular basis and carry heavier loads. I think the MV-22 Osprey is that one that can take off and land. It's like half between a helicopter and half between a plane, I think. But check this out, Bradshaw Field, right? They're developing this thing, man. They're building, this is all under development, right? As a part of that agreement. So all of this is getting upgraded. All of this is getting built. This was the old runway stopped here, and it's going to make it longer and bigger so these huge planes can land here and refuel and do joint operations. All of this is being built out. There's those training facilities that we just mentioned here. The camp, 250 personnel can be out here. You can already see the foundations that are being marked to build this facility in the middle of Australia, right? just in the middle of nowhere. Like, look where we are here. Look where we are. It's super remote, man. It's super remote. Let's have a little look around. Let's have a little look. And you know what I'm about to say, right? Everyone knows what I'm about to say because it wouldn't be, as I said, Aussie Google Earth Explorer video without me saying that. But boy, I would fish here. I'd be fishing here. What would you catch here? Probably barra, threadfin salmon, mangrove jack. I don't know. I'm not from the Northern Territory, but those are the fish that I associate with this area. But I'll be fishing, man. I hope as a part of the Bradshaw Field training upgrade, they build some Bradshaw Field fishing upgrades as well. Because you want to talk about, getting in good with the US. The US, man, they love to fish. They got competitions over there. They love to fish. So, let's find some common ground. But this is Bradshaw Field. And like I said, this is a part of this. They actually listed this on the government website. $750 million. They're going to do Bradshaw Field. They're going to do RAAF Tindal. And they're going to do Mount Bundy. $750 million upgrade. And I think that's only even that might only be our bit. I think they're chucking in $1 billion as well. But look how remote this is, man. Look how remote this is. So we looked at RAAF Tindal. We looked at the Bombers upgrade there. We looked at Bradshaw Field. We looked at Pine Gap. And now we're going to look at the last place, Mount Bundy. Mount Bundy. Let's just get our bearings here. Mount Bundy training area. And I think it's important to mention the elephant in the room here. Why have we chosen the north of Australia? Okay. Why are we building all these bases in the north of Australia? Why aren't we building these bases in the south of Australia or the west of Australia? Okay. Because geographically, it's close to Asia. It's close to China. It's close to an area that right now is a hotbed of activity. So the US want to have a presence in Australia. We want to strengthen our ties with the US. We want to strengthen our military. It all makes sense, right? It all makes sense. But this is Bundy. They got a helipad. This kind of looks a little like resort-esque. A little bit more resorty. They got some trees here. Yeah, this is like a little resort they got going on here. I wouldn't mind having a little stay here. Maybe they got a little sauna, a little spa. This is relax and rejuvenate. Yeah, maybe that's what this is. This is relax and rejuvenate. You come off your big rotation down at RAAF Tindal. You're a bit tired. Pop out to Bundy for a hot stone massage and also come down the shooting range and blast off some rounds down here. Pop, 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 pop. Nothing like just sending rounds down range to make you feel better. There isn't as much stuff out here, actually. This is of the three that we've looked at, this is definitely the smallest. And there's not that much information about this place either, Mount Bundy training area. There's definitely not that much information. And I wonder if anyone has any more information about, what's this? This looks like an old airstrip here. This could just be someone's house, dude. This could be this is military. Let's just assume everything's military for the video's sake, right? This is military. Another airfield. How many airfields do they want? What are they trying to land? What are they trying to do, man? What's this? Just a light patch of dirt? Wrong. Underground base. That's Mount Bundy. Okay, here's Mount Bundy, actually. It's a little village. Not much is going on there. But that's Mount Bundy. And I think that's a good little wrap up of what's going on right now with this force posture agreement, where they're building, where the major developments are happening. We looked at Pine Gap. We went to RAAF Tindal, Mount Bundy, Bradshaw Field. And we'll keep an eye on this stuff. We'll make some more of these videos in the future because I know a lot of people are super interested in Australian military stuff. And hey, if you are in the military and you watch this video, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a normal dude on his laptop just trying to make a video. Please don't get angry in the comments. But I am keen to learn if I'm saying stuff that is wrong. So, drop a comment and subscribe. I'm doing 4 to 5 videos a week currently. I'm pumping this out. So if you like what I'm doing, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.